Mga kapatid, kumusta tayo ngayon? Today is Thursday, September 11 na po, no? Hope everything is running smoothly sa mga buhay natin ngayon. Mga kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia, dito sa Sabah din po, no? West and East Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah, very specific dito po sa Kota Kinabalu City. May mga topics tayo ngayon that we are going to discuss, and I'll be sharing with you some footages po regarding pa rin po ang problema natin, malaking problema natin dyan po sa Pilipinas, ang problema natin tungkol sa korupsyon. Our problem in the Philippines is the acute corruption problem in the Philippines. And still, a very hot issue po, and we saw changes left and right. We are now seeing a conflict. I hope this is not that this won't be very serious conflict po. A conflict between the Philippine Senate and the Philippine House of Representatives, or our senators and the congressmen. And of course, a change of administration on the part of the Senate of the Philippines, wherein now we already have itong bagong Senate President under the leadership of former Senate President, Senator President Tito Sen or Vicente Soto. And rumors are spreading since yesterday po that there will be sabihin natin po, there will be a reshuffle dyan po sa House of Representatives, or we call it ang Kamara. And the rumor says that most likely the incumbent Speaker of the House will be replaced by somebody else. True or not, we don't know po. But as far as I know, majority or many, if not all of the Filipinos po, gustong-gusto nila po na palitan na ang Speaker of the House, and I'm referring to Speaker Martin Romualdez, who is the first cousin of the President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. Why? Because of all this news coming out, although there is no proof that they are really involved in this what we call flood control anomalous projects or dealings since 2022 until 2025. And of course, this anomalous transactions is not only started during the time of President Bongbong Marcos, when he became the president way back in 2022. But apparently, as record shows, contractors' record shows, that itong mga dealings nila sa gobyerno, especially in the Department of Public Works and Highways, it all began as early as 2012, or during the administration of the late President Gloria, or not late, I'm sorry, the former President of the Philippines, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Macapagal Arroyo. So how many presidents we have? Dami na po. Nandyan si Arroyo, nandyan si Aquino, nandyan po si Duterte, and now we have Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. So we have seen for the past few days, or last week po, we have seen also what is happening in our neighboring countries like Indonesia. They have this street demonstration. The people in Indonesia, the youth in Indonesia, the students, were not happy with how the government in Indonesia is giving many perks to the elected politicians po, elected politicians of government servants po. And they were not happy, and that is the reason why they went out to the street. And you know what happened po. Grabe din po ang demonstration dyan po sa Indonesia. Now, of lately, just the recent one, Just the recent one. In Nepal po, it's the worst because we have seen now how many people died. How many people died? They even burned the building of the parliament dyan po sa Nepal. Sa Nepal po. And sad to hear, and I'm very sad to say that there are Filipinos, kababayan natin po, who's also saying, why don't we follow the footsteps of Indonesia as well as of that of Nepal? Show our anger that we are not happy with the government. Sana po, wag na lang po. Wag na lang po. No? We can solve this problem peacefully po without any bloodshed. As what we did in 1986 po. The people's power. No blood. But I agree. I will support if there will be any mass demonstration po. Under the Constitution, we are free, provided it is not violent. Just to express people's disappointment, people's anger, of what is happening or how the country is being ruled or being managed by our elected politicians. Like what is happening now po, billions of money, pesos po, went to the wrong people. And whose money is that? Pera natin yun po. Pera ng mga taxpayers. Ako, ikaw, mga kapatid natin, mga magulang natin, mga kababayan natin po. Pera natin yun po. Remember, every move that we do dyan po sa Pilipinas or even tayo, mga overseas Filipino workers, every time we purchase something, we are paying taxes. We are contributing to the economy of our country, the Philippines. You know, overseas Filipino workers, tayo po, malaking tulong sa nasyon natin po. Because the amount of remittances we are sending back to the Philippines po, tremendously helping the economy of our country. And with that taxes we are paying, we are hoping that there will be better facilities, public facilities, para sa bayan natin, para sa mga Pilipinos. But unfortunately po, millions and billions of money went to the wrong people. Kagaya ito, I'm telling you, kagaya what is happening now, ang issue ng flood control, anomalous dealings po dyan sa Pilipinas. This is nationwide. Kaya nga po, you cannot blame kung tayo, ang gobyerno cannot blame sa mga tao po, tayo mga Pilipino po, if we are angry. In fact, even our own president, si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, when he discovered that there were ghost projects po, substandard projects po, and ang dami pa mga anomaliyas po, government officials, like those officials in the Department of Public Works and Highways are in cahoots with the contractors po. And not only with the contractors, they're also in cahoots with other government agencies po. All because of pera. Greediness. Ito mga corrupt people, they're enjoying their life. Ang pamilya nila, mga anak nila po, enjoying their life to the fullest. But if they will turn left and right sa bahay nila po, maglabas sila sa bahay nila po, they can see ang kababayan nila, mga kapatid nila, Pilipino, na nahirapan sa buhay po. Yet they don't care. Kaya nga, dapat na po itong mga tao po, itong mga tao involved, be it politicians, be it businessmen, be it government officials po. We want justice, we want accountability. put them behind bars, charge them in court, and it will serve as a deterrent. It will serve as an example. It will serve as a, sabihin natin, they will think twice before doing other corruption and healthy activities in the future po. Sa ngayon po, how many donkey? Decades already po. Palagi lang sabi ang mga Pilipino, sige, pasensya lang. Sige, darating din yung panahon. Darating din yung panahon po. Malalagot sila po. Dating ang election, we are going to judge them. Pero pagdating ang election po, what happens? Itong mga politicians, itong mga corrupt businessmen, what they do is, they support financially through the candidates and make them win. In terms of giving money, and once these politicians during their campaign period, they give financial help and other assistance po to buy votes. And what happened? Dahil sa pera po, without thinking that that money you can finish it in less than 1 month po, but you will suffer in 3 years. Boto tayo sa kanila. The problem with us Filipinos, we don't know how to choose our right leaders. Although we talk much. The problem, mga sa Pilipinas po, is that the politicians talk a lot, but they don't keep their words. They don't walk the talk. They don't turn their words into action. For reasons, selfish motive po. Klarong-klaro po. And what is happening now, itong controversy po, it is because of the 2028 presidential election or general election po. Obviously, we can see, nakita natin po, everybody knows, basta mga bata po, alam na po eh. What these people are doing now is to make sure na ang potential candidate to be the president, next president of the Philippines, si Sara Duterte, and the Dutertes, they want to tarnish the name para wala na silang kalaban po pagdating sa 2028 presidential election. May mga intention na po, everybody heard about this thing, na si Speaker Martin Romualdez, may mga hearings po, he wants to lead the country. Yet, his name always mentioned in the corruption cases, although there is no evidence yet po. Kagaya itong flood control project po. Pangalan ni Martin Romualdez. Pangalan ni Congressman Saldico. Pangalan ng other congressman. And, sad to say, a senator. But these are all allegations pa po. Kaya nga, let's hope and pray na huwag na po diretso whoever who is investigating this thing po. No? They will be very sincere. Nandyan po, saludo ako dyan po, si Senator Ping Lacson who is now heading the Blue Ribbon Committee. Sayang lang po, magaling din po si Senator Marcoleta, Rodante Marcoleta. Nandyan din si Senator Ping. Put together, I think sa Blue Ribbon Committee, ang chairman is replaced by Marcoleta is Senator Ping Lacson. And ang deputy chairman niya, vice chairman niya, I think is Marcoleta. Maganda yun po. Sige lang po, hindi na dapat who is the top or the chairman po. For as long as both of them are really serious. Senator Ping Lacson is good in investigating. He was a former chief of police or PNP chief. Galing yun po. And we have seen him, how he do his work. When he won in the midterm election po, May 12 yata yun, in the period of only 70 days po, he started already investigating itong mga problema natin po, mga corruption cases po. And nandito tayo ngayon. Although may mga misunderstandings, very minor misunderstanding po dyan sa Senado ngayon. But I think with these two people, dyan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee po, backed up by experience, ang ano natin, ang bagong speaker na, Senate President, si Tito Sen, plus ang experience ni former Senate President Chis Escudero, if they will work together, plus ang mga lawyers natin, senators, kagaya mataas na pataas din tayo, we see ang caliber ni minority leader ngayon, si Senator Alan Cayetano, no? Nandyan po ang former President Senator De La Rosa, nandyan po mga iba-iba pa, si Subiri, Senator Subiri, magaling din yun po, no? So, sana lang po walang politics sa investigasyon, and let's solve this problem. Those who are guilty, make sure that they pay for the crime that they have committed. Mayroon din ngayon po, I was made to understand, nag-sign na ng executive order si President Ferdinand Marcos today, establishing the investigation commission po, who will be looking after or investigating itong flood control anomalies dyan po sa Pilipinas by the billions yun po. No? And sino-sino ang mga, sabihin natin mga members, I think the President anytime soon, today, will be announcing ang mga members. But anyway po, diretso muna tayo po sa itong Department of Public Works and Highways, si Secretary Vince Dizon already announced today, kanina lang po, already announced na mayroon na sila, they already filed cases against the BGC boys. Ibig sabihin, yon mga engineers natin dyan po sa Bulacan involved sa ano ito po, sa anomalya po. And of course, some several contractors po, they already filed cases against them this afternoon. Alright, let me share with you first itong video clip. Kaninang umaga pa ito, but may mga latest updates tayo po when it comes to the names of those of the Department of Public Works and Highways filed cases against them po. Mamaya na yan po, ha? Okay, let me share with you itong video clip. Video clip muna tayo po, so at least you will have an idea po, what really or what is happening po dyan sa Pilipinas. Saan ito? 154. Saan din 154? 154. Alright? Let's listen to this po. Let's listen. Alright? Si Senator Ping Lacson ito po, Senator Ping Lacson, during an interview with him by Karen Davila, siguro ito po, no? Mainstream media dyan sa Pilipinas. You hold on. Let's watch and listen to the interview.
Yung mga una na makakasuhan ni Secretary Vince Dizon.
Yung sa second privilege speech, maliwanag yun.
Alright, sandali, hindi pala ito si Karen Davila, ito during the Senate kapisahan ba yun? Parang press briefing nila dyan po kaninang umaga. Alright, nandito po. Let's listen to Senator Ping Lacson.
Una na makakasuhan ni Secretary Vince Dizon.
Yung sa second privilege speech, maliwanag yun. Yung 5 mga signatories, no? Alcantara, Hernandez, Tomasik, JP de Guzman, JP Mendoza ba yan? Anyway, kumpista po si Mimeng Eliases pati yung yung mga San Diego, pati yung mga kontratistang na-identify, yung SIMS at saka yung IM, at saka Wawaw. No? Sa first privilege speech, ganun din. May mga na-identify doon. And hindi naman ito yung parang hearsay, kundi mahilig kasi ako sa resibo eh. Kapag gumalaw kami ng mga staff, sinisigurado namin na may kasamang resibo at pwede magamit sa pagpapile ng kaso. Hindi lamang sa pagpapile ng kaso, pwede magamit all the way sa prosecution hanggang sa conviction.
So yun sir, makakasuhan na, yun yung may pinakamabibigat na kasalanan na meron ng hawak na mabigat na ebidensya laban sa kanila.
Correct, yung malinaw na malinaw. Yung pagpasok lang sa casino, meron na yun, yung PD 1869, di ba, as amended. At yun, pwedeng itawid doon sa RA 6713. Pagkatapos yung malversation nga, yung using dictation name or concealing true name, Article 178 ng Revised Penal Code. Meron ding karapatang parusa yun. And of course, yung paggamit ng mga ng fake na driver's license, yung umaksyon na yung LTO.
Pero sir, kahit na sila yung makasuhan na, ipapatawag pa rin sila sa Senate hearing. Tapos
Oh, yes,
isagawa niyo.
definitely. Lalo na, sina Bryce Hernandez, lahat sila yung BGC boys. Papatawag namin yun.
Sir, before RG, so sir,
Alright, narinig natin po si Senator Ping Lacson during the media briefing. He already confirmed that he spoke to Secretary Vince Dizon, ang Secretary ng Department of Public Works and Highways. He recommended na po ang mga pangalan to file charges against these people po. No? It means ang mga engineers at saka mga contractors po. And during the interview, now he made it very clear that it will be done today, and it was done today. Today po. Ang Department of Public Works and Highways, they already filed ang complaint or charges dyan po sa authorities concerned. Now, let's continue with another video clip po of Ping Lacson during that particular press briefing po. No? And nandito, let's listen to this. Na 1:45.
Isang tanong, dahil may binanggit na kayo doon sa mga BGC boys. Sir, marami kasi nagsasabi na hindi lang silang 5 ang nakinabang doon sa Bulacan First. Ang sinasabi nga mula sa taas hanggang sa pinakamababang empleyado, ano po nalaman nyo tungkol yun sa iba pang mga nakinabang? At kasama rin po ba sila sa sinabi nyo kay Segments na kasuhan na po?
Yes, pero alam nyo, di ba ang pattern hindi lumalampas sa 150,000? Kasi pag nagbagsak yung funder, yung proponent, nagbagsak sa halimbawa kung ilang milyon, may usapan na yun eh. Para hindi na lumampas ang threshold ng kayang i-implement ng District Engineering Office, hindi lumalabas ang 150 million. Kasi ang threshold nila 150. Pag lumampas sa 150 hanggang 450, region eh.
kaya,
So bihira kayo makakakita ng more than 150, di ba 77 million, 140 something million, 98 million, walang lumalagpas kasi kontrolado nila pag-implement, pag-monitor, pagbayad. So, ngayon, ito yung depregoning. Kala nila, lusot sila all the way. Ang malas nila, mukhang may nakialam sa taas na nagbagyo ng 3 sunod-sunod, mukhang nagalit na si God eh. Bakit nagkasunod-sunod si Crising, si Dante, si Emo, mas may habangan pa? Para may divine intervention, para mapulgar lahat. Otherwise, tuloy-tuloy sila sa kasino. Yung pera natin binabayad sa tax, kinakasino, pinapibili ng mga patigpili kung ano nung relo at kung ano nung kotse. You can just imagine kung nagpatuloy ito. Para tayo mga gago.
Alright, narinig natin po ang explanation, ang statement ni Senator Ping Lacson, no? Ni Senator Ping Lacson. And klarong-klaro po, no? Klarong-klaro, and for your information, na-final na po. Na-file. Mamaya, I'm going to give you the names po, and I will give you also another video clip na ang announcement ni Secretary Vince Dizon regarding this particular issue. Medyo maingay tayo ngayon po, no? Dahil ang Kota Kinabalu is experiencing a heavy downpour. I would just want to remind ang mga kababayan ko dito po sa Kota Kinabalu, if you are driving, ingat lang tayo po because we are experiencing heavy downpour. Ang langit natin dito po, ang sky natin is crying. Is it because of the anomalous project dyan po sa Pilipinas? To remind ang mga Filipinos dito po, come on na, tayo mga Pilipino, may problema, malaking problema tayo sa Pilipinas. Sana lang po, we will solve this problem. Umiiyak ang langit natin po ngayon dito sa Sabah dahil sa mga corrupt, greedy politicians, greedy government officials, greedy, sabihin natin, mga contractors. Contractors mo. So, yon po. Alright, klaro-klaro po. And this time around, I would like to read you, share with you a news article po. News article from ABS-CBN. Nandito na po. ABS-CBN. Importante ito po regarding ang mga kaso ang Department of Public Works and Highways filed against this 24 pala po, no? 24 personnel, contractors, DPWH personnels, contractors, nag-file na po for take in the flood control mess. Nandito po ang balita. The Department of Public Works and Highways or Department of Public Works or Highway DPWH on Thursday, ibig sabihin today, filed corruption complaints at the Office of the Ombudsman against 20 DPWH personnel and 4 private contraction firms allegedly involved in the flood control project anomalies. Thank you very much. We support this kind of movements. DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon personally filed the graft and corruption and malversation cases against Henry Alcantara. Ito po ang district engineer dyan po sa Bulacan. Bryce Hernandez, ang assistant ni Henry, and 18 other officials and employees of the Bulacan 1st District Engineering Office. Respondents from the Bulacan 1st District Office are the following. Nandito na po mga pangalan. Let's listen. Ex-District Engineer Henry C. Alcantara. Former Assistant District Engineer Bryce Erickson D. Hernandez. Construction Section Chief J.P. D. Mendoza. John Manuel E. Ramos. Planning and Design Section Chief Ernesto C. Galang. OIC Maintenance Section Chief Lorenzo A. Pagtalunan. Mayroon din tayo si Jaime R. Hernandez. Quality Assurance Section Chief Norberto L. Santos. Administrative Section Chief Floraline Y. Simbulan. Finance Section Juanito C. Mendoza. Budget Unit Head Roberto A. Roque. The others are as follows. Procurement Unit Head Benedict Matawaran. Cashier Cristina May Pineda. Project Engineers Paul Jason Duya. Men Jason C. Laos. Lemuel Efran C. Roque. RJ Domasic. John Carlo Rivera. John Benex S. Francisco. And Engineer Jolo Marie V. Tayo. Yun po ang mga pangalan. Also facing charges are 5 individuals from private companies, construction companies. Ang CYMS Construction Trading, Wawo Builders, St. Timothy Construction, and IM Construction Corporation due to their alleged involvement in GOS and substandard flood control projects po. Alright? Sino-sino yan sila? Nandito po ang mga pangalan. Sally N. Santos of SYMS Construction Trading, Mark Allen V. Arevalo of Wawo Builders, Maria Roma Angeline D. Rimando of St. Timothy Construction Corporation, Cesara Rowena C. Disgaya of St. Timothy Construction Corporation, and Robert T. Imperio of IM Construction Corporation. Right? According to Dizon, these cases are non-bailable. Ibig sabihin po, you cannot put bail. No? And carry a penalty of life imprisonment. The moment there is a complaint already po, then you will be behind bars already po. You cannot bail out yourself. Hindi yon allowed, no? Simula pa lang ito po, habang po wala pa ang independent commission na itatayo pa lang ng ating Pangulo. We will all get the justice that we all deserve as Filipinos, he said during the filing. Within 10 days po, wala pang 10 days, araw na pumasok tayo sa DPWH, sabi ng Pangulo, bilisan. Ito na po. Binibilisan na po natin. At una pa lang po ito sa mas marami pang mga kasong parating, Dizon said. Dizon said that no less than the President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. directed him to speed up the cleansing of the Department of Public Works and Highways after witnessing firsthand the plight of residents in Bulacan, where he personally discovered GOS flood control project just recently. Before the President left for Cambodia, the President told me one thing, enough to talk, enough process. Now is the time to act, Dizon told ANC during the, sabihin natin, during the interview po. And this time around, I would like to share with you ang video clips ng interview ni Secretary Vince Dizon. Let's listen to this po. Let's listen to this.
Before the Ombudsman, the first cases against all...
Hold on. Sandali.
Sino ang sasampahan nyo ng kaso?
Sandali,
Ito, filing before the Ombudsman, the first cases against all these individuals.
Okay, sino ang sasampahan nyo ng kaso?
18 tao po. Ito.
18 today. Okay.
18. No, including companies. No, we are focusing now on people within DPWH and the companies that the agency have dealt with. No, in doing this massive, theft of the people's money. No, so ito po, these are the cases that we're going to be filing today at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And it includes the people that have already been mentioned, but more people also within DPWH.
Okay, would you have a list right now? Do you remember? I mean, you're not holding notes now.
I don't have a list,
Okay.
but we will announce and we will read all these things when we file them later at 9
All right,
o'clock.
but let me just say, kasama ba dito sa kinasuhan, you can just say yes or no, itong district engineer, dati si Alcantara,
Yes.
itong si Bryce Hernandez,
Mendoza.
Kuya, lahat yan, ito
Yes.
Mendoza,
Duya.
kasama yan.
Kasama po yan.
Now, Wawaw Builders,
Yes.
kakasuhan.
Yes.
Diskaya,
Yes.
lahat ng kumpanya
Yes,
nila
Sims.
kakasuhan.
Opo.
Oh.
And I want to emphasize, una pa lang ito sa napakarami. Kasi madami po ito, Karen, and not just in Bulacan.
Oo.
This has been done on a massive scale nationwide.
Okay, so Secretary, kakasuhan niyo yung mga diskaya, and in the Senate, they're supposed, between Senate President Tito Soto, Senator Marcoleta, there's supposed to be, they want to be state witnesses, right? Is that possible for you?
Hindi po ako abogado.
Oo.
Pero alam ko po yung most guilty. Hindi po pwede yun. Diba? And I think the Discayas are one of the most guilty here. Inamin nga po nila that they were colluding with their own companies in one bidding for a project. I mean, and we saw the lavishness of their lifestyle. Ano pa walang hiya eh. Walang hiya. Alam naman nila nanakaw yung pera nila eh. Tapos pagmamalaki mo pa. Habang yung mga kababayan natin nababaha, naghihirap. Alam mong nakaw na pera yun, alam mong pera ng mga kababayan natin yun. Tapos, papalabas mo pa sa TV yung mga Rolls Royce mo. Walang hiya itong mga taong to.
So, no for you,
Ay, para sa
impossible.
akin.
No to state witness sa mga diskayas. Now, ang next question is your filing cases. What changes are you making in the DPWH? I know it's only been less than 2 weeks, but you're probably here for 3 years, right? As secretary. That's as long as
5 years.
I was gonna say as long as you don't get sick. But
Or
you've
die.
been out everything.
Or die,
Now,
Karen.
why do you make these jokes? Has it been...
No, it's overwhelming, Karen. It's it's overwhelming what I have seen in just 10 days. And it's really something that it's going to take time.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult. It's going to take time, and I can't do this alone. I mean, I need people to help me. That's why last Sunday I was with former DPWH Secretaries Ping De Jesus and Dave Singson, and I was asking them, help me. What do I do? Who do I trust? What can I do? I mean, it's a deeply seated problem that has been there for decades, Karen. Dekada na to eh. At magaling ito, top to bottom ito.
Alright, narinig natin po, no? Ang interview ni Karen Davila, mainstream media ito po, dyan sa Pilipinas, to Secretary Vince Dizon. Sabi nga ni Secretary Dizon, dekada-dekada nitong problema po, nandyan. No? It means, by decades na po, nandyan yan po. They've been doing this thing po. And only now, we found out na ganito ang paka-serious. Ang amount involved is by the billions po. By the billions. And yes, we salute. We salute Senator Ping Lacson as well as si Senator Vince Dizon and others, those who are involved in the investigation po, for really focusing. They are very serious in making sure na kahit sino man, be it politician, be it a congressman, be it a senator, or businessman, and be it their friends, relatives, or business affiliates, or political affiliates. No favoritism here. Walang personalan dito. Trabaho lang. Dapat po, they will stick to this statement that itong mga kaibigan natin is now talking. No? It's now talking po. Because this is what we need. If pabayaan natin ito po, grabe po, wala mangyari sa atin. Wala mangyari sa atin po. Although it's late, but it's better late than never. Never. Alright. Tungkol naman sa issue between Congress and Senate, because last Monday, nakita natin po na si Diskaya, ang contractor po, mentioned the names of the congressmen involved dito po sa anomalya. And the following day, Tuesday, si si Bryce Hernandez mentioned 2 names involved, ang senador po. And that is Senator Jinggoy Estrada as well as Senator Joel Villanueva. And when we talk about the senators, according to Hernandez, mayroon na participation daw, allegedly, si Senator Jinggoy Estrada sa 350 million projects po, flood control projects dyan po sa Bulacan. And likewise with Joel Villanueva, amounting to 600 million pesos, no? Dyan sa area niya sa Bulacan. And si Senator Ping Lacson already confirmed na nakita na nila po na may insertion. Pero sino ang proponent? Sino nag-propose yan po? They have yet to find out. Let's see po. They will only find out whether may participation ba or may truth ang allegation ni Hernandez, if maglabas ang pangalan ng mga senator concerned po dito po sa 350 million and 650 million insertion po. So let's wait and see po. But at the moment, yon allegation, the allegation of Diskaya about the congressman, the only evidence he got is yon po ang ledger. And it will not stand strong kung sa korte ngayon po. And tungkol naman kay Hernandez, may ebidensya niya po, yon text messages po. Text messages. No? Text messages. Between the, sino ba yan ang undersecretary, si Cabral, nag-text siya kay Senator Joel Villanueva on this issue po. So, let's see. Sabi ni Senator Ping Lacson, who is now the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, now, it was scheduled ang next Blue Ribbon Committee hearing on Tuesday, but he needs more time. That's why he moved from Tuesday to Thursday po. Thursday will be September 19, if I'm not mistaken po, no? September 19. So, let's see po. We'll going to monitor and cover itong hearing ng Blue Ribbon Committee po. But the problem is, ang House of Representatives po, matagal pa po. They're going to have another hearing that will only come after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks po. No? Yun ang, sana po, they have to speed up itong hearing po ang congressman. And of course, we heard also from the chairman ng TRICOM, si Representative Terry Ridon. Sabi nga po, there was a motion already passed to invite itong si Representative Saldi ako, as well as they will send an invitation to the speaker po to be a resource person po or just an invite dyan po sa hearing. Kailan yan po, we still don't know. When they are going to invite si Baguio Mayor Benji Magalong, wala pang confirmation updates po. But I was made to understand, and it was officially announced by Ping Lacson that si Mayor Magalong is already included in the independent commission po who will be investigating itong flood control anomalies po. So maganda din yun po. Ang reputation ni Mayor Magalong is very good po, no? We can trust him also po. So ganito yan po ang sitwasyon. Anyway, now since I mentioned the name of Speaker Romualdez, mayroon tayong report dito po. No? Mayroon tayong report coming from Billionario News Report regarding the rumors of kudeta. Kudeta po. What do you mean kudeta? It means they want to replace the Speaker of the Congress, si Speaker Martin Romualdez po. True or not, some people, some congressmen are saying these are just merely hearsays, rumors, no basis, while others says mayroon na po. May mga tao na po who's moving and trying to secure the required number. required number po. Because changing the speaker po is a game of numbers po. No? Kung may numbers kayo, kagaya what happened sa Senado, kay Chis Escudero and Tito Soto. Last Monday, it's only last Monday that they managed to secure ang camp ni Tito Sen, managed to secure 15 members po supporting for him to be the Senate President. So, ang balance po, 9, yung grupo ni Chis Escudero na they become now the minority group, minority bloc. So, nandito po, I will share with you dito report coming from Billionario News. And let's watch, listen carefully. So at least you will have an idea talaga po of what is happening dyan po sa Kongreso. Dyan sa Kongreso. Saan na ba yun? For medyo mahaba kunti ito po. But maganda ito. This is good. Saan na yun? Give me time first, sandali. Nandito na po. Let's listen to the news report ng Billionario po.
Tila ayaw pahuli ng Kamara sa Senado matapos na umugong dito sa Kongreso ang umano'y pagpapalit din ng liderato ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Raise your right hand and repeat.
Matapos ang fourth wave na kudeta sa Senado, na muling nagbalik kay Senator Tito Soto bilang Senate President at sa gitna ng pagkakadawit sa ilang mambabatas sa flood control scandal, tila namimiligro na rin daw ang palitan sa liderato ng Kamara. Umuugong na posibleng sumunod na palitan si House Speaker Martin Romualdez matapos kaladkarin ng isa sa mga kontraktor sa issue. Binanggit
Okay, medyo mayroon tayong technical problem. May technical problem tayo dito po. Anyway, sige lang. Let me, yun na po, no? Some of the congressmen, they denied. Wala daw po, walang such thing. While others are saying, mayroon po. Now, I will share you with another footage po. And this time around, itong neophyte congressman po, sino ba ito? Si Bersaga. Ang father niya po was a former congressman din po. Magaling din itong congressman ang tatay niya po. Si Congressman Bersaga. So, nandito po. Let's watch itong interview sa kanya wherein he himself said that kailangan si Speaker Romualdez be invited sa investigation po and investigate him also. Nandito po. Let's listen. Let's listen to this. Yung kaninang footage po, medyo may problema tayo. But anyway, I'll give you this footage.
Naniniwala ang neophyte lawmaker na si Cavite 4th District Representative Francisco Kiko Barsaga na dapat kasamang imbestigahan si House Speaker Martin Romualdez kaugnay ng mga anomalya sa flood control projects. Inihayag ito ng kongresista matapos umalis sa kinabibilangang National Unity Party o NUP dahil sa umay internal conflict matapos paghinala ang nasa likod ng planong pagpapatalsik sa House Speaker na itinatanggi nito. Bumaba rin si Barsaga sa pwesto bilang House Assistant Majority Leader.
Well, I believe that if anyone should be investigated, the first person to be investigated is House Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Bakit po?
Because he's now Speaker. I have some personal knowledge. I will not be elaborating that yet. But I'd like for Speaker Romualdez to be speaking in the... I'd like Speaker Romualdez to also be involved in the DPWH hearings.
Ang hamon naman ni House Infra Committee Co-Chairperson at Bicol Cerro Party List Representative Terry Redon kay Congressman Barsaga. Ilabas ang ebidensya nito.
I think if Congressman Bazaga is saying that he has personal knowledge, he should be able to disclose it already before even asking Speaker Martin Romualdez to appear before the House of Infrastructure Committee.
Magiging independent member o miyembro ng minority bloc si Congressman Barsaga. Ang kongresista ay anak ng yumaong kongresistang si Elpidio P.D. Barsaga na naging presidente rin ng NUP. Samantala, tiniyak naman ng bagong talagang tagapagsalita ni Speaker Romualdez na si dating Surigao del Norte Representative Robert East Forbes na nanatiling mayorya ng mga kongresista ang suportado ang liderato ng Kamara. Wala ring katotohanan ng ugong na magbibitiw sa pwesto ang House Speaker.
Walang plano mag-resign, walang planong pagtatanggal, at wala ring plano na magkaroon ng palit ng liderato dito sa bababa.
Bukas din umano ang House Speaker kung gusto siyang kausapin ni Barsaga kaugnay ng mga isyu nito sa kanya. Itinanggi naman ni Barbers na kaya nagtalaga ng tagapagsalita ang House Speaker ay dahil sa isyu ng mga maanomalyang flood control projects.
Walang kinalaman ito dito sa mainit na usapin ngayon tungkol sa flood control. O sa anumang usapin na mainit. It's just that the Speaker wanted to accommodate all queries coming from our media friends. No? In this case, kasi nga medyo hectic yung schedule ng ating Speaker. Kaya he asked me to be his spokesman on certain issues, and which I am willingly accepting.
Nilinaw din itong hindi siya itinalagang Speaker spokesperson para banggain ang mga kritiko ng liderato ng Kamara. Rosa Ricos, UNTV News and Rescue. Diyos ang aming sandigan, serbisyo publiko ang aming pinahahalagahan.
Yan po, narinig natin ang representative, neophyte representative, si Barsaga. And yan ba, sinabi niya po, if there is anybody to be investigated first, it is Speaker Martin Romualdez. Sabi naman ni Speaker Martin Romualdez is willing to also talk whatever anong problema ni Barsaga, doubts na po, whatever, is willing to share a time with him. And of course, ang mga congressmen, just like si Representative Barbers, sabi niya, there is no such thing as the Speaker will be stepping down, the Speaker will be resigning po. But based on public opinion na tayo po, no? Public opinion, karamihan ng mga Filipinos po, no? Karamihan ng mga Filipinos, they want si Speaker Martin Romualdez po to step down. Change. We already changed the president or the president of the Senate. So this time around po, why don't we change the speaker po? Kasi nandyan po ang pangalan niya sa mga anomalya po. Alleged anomalies lang ito, Alleged anomalies nandyan po. So, let's see, no? Kung how far can this problem will go on. Sana lang po matapos na ito po. Kasi kawawa mga Filipinos, no? Mga taxpayers. Tayo po, mga overseas Filipino workers, kawawa talaga tayo po. Kawawa ang mga loved ones that we left behind dyan sa Pilipinas, hoping that we will be able to architect the future of our loved ones, and hoping that with our financial assistance in terms of remittances, regular remittances po, by the billions din yan po, no? Our loved ones, our relatives, our loved ones will enjoy the basic public facilities, basic public facilities. But apparently, it's not happening. Example lang po, every time meron tayong mga bad weather conditions, typhoon ba dyan, what happened to the Philippines? Baha. Mabuti lang kung baha kung slightly lang. May mga baha hanggang dito na po, no? And damage of properties, malaki po. Agriculture natin affected, no? And worst thing, people are dying because of our corrupt politicians, corrupt contractors, corrupt, sabihin natin, government officials. Kagaya what happened dito po sa Department of Public Works and Highways. Grabe po. Okay, may isa pa akong video clip that I want to share with you po. And this is regarding what happened yesterday dyan po sa Senate plenary session po. Medyo naggulo-gulo sila po dahil sa the custody of Assistant Engineer Bryce Hernandez, wherein the Senate earlier cited in contempt si Hernandez, and since there was a hearing on Tuesday, the following day po, no? So they allowed the Senate, per the request of Speaker Martin Romualdez, ang bagong Senate President natin, si Tito Sen po, consented that ito si Hernandez attend the TRICOM hearing, and that was Tuesday, no? Tuesday. Yun, nandoon na siya po. He wants to reveal the names of the senators, of the two senators po, in one condition, that he will not be returned back to the Senate for fear, security reasons po. So what happened? Itong si Speaker Romualdez contacted ang Senate President si Tito Sen, and although nag-grant ang request ni Speaker Romualdez si Tito Sen, provided Hernandez will be put in a neutral ground. And saan yung neutral ground po? It will be at the PNP custodial sa Camp Crame. And that's why Tuesday night he stayed there. But the problem is the following day, yesterday, ang mga some of the senators, sila na po ang minority leader. Minority leader si Alan Cayetano, Senator Alan Cayetano, Senator Marcoleta, Senator Bato de la Rosa po oppose, and they want that Hernandez be sent back to the custody, physical custody of Hernandez. So what happened po, medyo magulo-gulo na guluhan sila, na temporary suspension ang session, until finally they came up with an agreement, amicable agreement, na Hernandez will be sent to Pasay jail. Pasay jail. So nandyan po. Yesterday evening, he was sent to the Pasay jail, city jail, and doon siya po na-detain. Na-detain. But according to Senator Ping Lacson this morning, sabi niya po, in the interview and during the press briefing sa Senado po, sabi niya, on Thursday, may hearing. Now, nag-attend din po, invited din po si Hernandez, but after the hearing, they will not release anymore si Hernandez. He will be detained dyan po sa Senado na po. Sa Senado na po. So, yun po. Let's see what will happen next week. Let's see what will happen. Okay, let me share you this last footage. Last na siguro ito Last footage po. A portion na taken by Net25. Net25, mainstream media din yan po sa Pilipinas. Net25. Saan na yun? Hold on Tingnan natin saan na yun. Ito na ba yun? Okay. After the hearing, the session, may sila konting discussions po. Si Senator Ping Lacson, si Senate President Tito Sen, si Senator Dante Marcoleta po, and of course, being sabihin natin crowded by some senators po nandito. Let's watch and listen to this.
Hindi yung speaker na na yung intervene lang. Hindi na yung content ng pinag-usapan yung pag-assos na dito kasi gusto natin dito siya. Ngayon, hinirap siya. Umayag naman tayo. Pero ang kanyang condition na binigay, solely immediate tapos na intervene. Wala pa yung request. September 8 yung ano eh. September 8 ang sulat. Kaya nga, pero yung condition mo September 8. Sabi, ibalik nyo dito in the Senate, hindi sa PNP. Pero kinonsulta nga, halimbawa, ikaw na lang nun, bro. Kinonsulta ba siya man? Ayun na naman. O, hindi nga. Ang kinonsulta kasi yung speaker eh. Hindi nga nag-request nga si speaker. Kasi sabi ko si speaker. Hindi mo, dapat naman lang sana kinonsulta. Yan ang sinasabi. Naintindihan ko yun. Pero yung consultation is important because yung Senate custody nandito, at yun ang condition na binigay ninyo. But that was the condition that you gave. Senate. Condition. The legal and physical. Pero yun ang maganda niya eh. Sabi ko hindi na kailangan ng motion dahil sa sulat mo, ibabalik natin immediately. Paano tayo mga kailangan sa kanila? Oras we are concerned kung ano yun. Pero hindi natin siguro pupunin ang grocery sa kanila din. Hindi natin
Okay, merienda na lang tayo. Yun po, na? Yun po. This is how things went wrong dyan po sa went wrong ba yun? What happened dyan po sa plenary session ng Senate yesterday po after ang session, na? And then bago sila napunta magmerienda. So, ito po, no? This is what is really happening dyan sa Pilipinas. Kayo, mga Pilipino, kababayan ko dito sa Pilipinas, dito sa Malaysia. Anong observation ninyo? Anong say ninyo po tungkol what is happening dyan sa Pilipinas ngayon? I'm pretty sure, based on the text messages and calls that I've been receiving from my followers dito po sa NikTalk, Area Talk with Nico, karamihan po were saying na make sure na itong mga tao, be it big or small, rich or poor, holding top position or ordinary employee sa gobyerno, once they are found really involved in these anomalous transactions po, no? Make sure that they will be charged in the court and penalized po. Penalized po. I think that will be fair request coming from the Filipinos, no? Kasi grabe po, grabe, especially mga overseas Filipino workers po, ang sakripisyo namin po, grabe. Only to find out that it goes, ang mga taxes natin po goes to the wrong people, wrong people po. And worst thing po, ang mga corrupt individuals, naghambog pa sila po sa yaman nila, no? Imagine, buying 30, 40 luxurious cars, going to casino, spending left and right, winning, losing money by the millions at the expense of the taxpayers' money. Grabe po, wala na konsensya po. Wala nang hiya yung mga tao na yun po, no? And ang mga anak niya, ang mga anak nila po all studying abroad. Magkano ang tuition fees nila po? Mahal. And mga anak din po enjoying life sa abroad. Having a dinner and lunch, very expensive one. And kaninang pera yun po? Pera natin yun po. Ha? But the only thing is that paano kaya? Ha? Paano kaya to get back the money that they stolen from us? Do you think it is possible for us, for the government, to get back the money? You just remember, during the time, I'm sorry to say these things, no offense to other people. Yun ang wealth of the Marcoses. Remember, during the Marcos Sr., during the People's Power, 1986, hanggang ngayon po, hindi pa tayo nakuha yung pera. Ha? Hindi pa po. So, ito na naman. Itong pork barrel noon, ang mga pera, nasaan? Ha? Nasaan na po? And ngayon dito, by the millions, pwede ba tayo ma-recover yan? Or hindi? Not enough alone to see these people behind bars. What we want also is to get back ang pera natin. Mga properties nila and all these things po. No? Siguro, i-sequester na yan po. And then, give it back to the national treasury natin po dyan sa Pilipinas. And anyway, but the most important thing is, sana itong mga investigations, itong independent na commission, independent commission, which nag-issue na po si President Bongbong Marcos Jr., ang executive order. Sana po, wala itong bias po. Wala itong bias. And no stone unturned will be left. Yon po, kailangan. Or else, mahirap na po to trust ang gobyerno ulit. Sa ngayon, tarnish na ang reputation ng Kongreso, ng Senado, ng mga government offices natin, departments natin po, especially ito, Department of Public Works and Highways. Ang COA, tarnish din po. Ang Bureau of Customs, tarnish na po. How to gain back itong tarnish reputation po by doing the right thing lang po. Do the right thing now ang mga authorities concerned. So with this, siguro hanggang dito na lang po ang Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. And let's see, I will continue to monitor ang sitwasyon na dyan po sa Pilipinas, especially itong mga issues natin ngayon. Very hot issues that concern not only the rich Filipinos, especially itong mga poor ones po. Tayo po, mga mahirap. Tayo po, mga mahirap. And it is for this reason, si Nico Fabian po, dito sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, I'm coming up with this kind of a program para ang mga kababayan ko dito po sa Malaysia, especially dito po sa Sabah, who could not or has no devices po to get immediate informations from the Philippines of what is happening po. I decided to do this Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico para sa inyo ito po. Don't forget, hindi lang para sa mga overseas Filipino dito po sa Malaysia, but other overseas Filipinos sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo po. Para sa atin ito. Kung may time kayo po, please like itong programa ko po and always support this program because nandito ako po to make sure that you will be properly informed. So with this, sana lang po, I managed to give you the important news that you deserve. Although I won't be able to be the first one, I might not be, or I will not be the first one to break the news, pero at least, makuha ninyo po ang news. I hope I managed to entertain you also po within the past 1 hour or so. And again, I would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. And I'll see you in my next episode. You take care. I love you and bye.